of American Idol is Maddie Poppe. Congratulations, Maddie.
Everything was fine, didn't see a single sign. What a perfect fit, too far gone, too late to be expired. Never hesitating, starting to feel safety. Who could blame me? 'Cause 2 weeks ago, you were still calling me baby. 23 wild and crazy. It's news to me, you couldn't take it no more. I'll be the one you got away. I'll be the one you wish you had. I'll be the one that you remember 'cause you. What's a heartland girl doing way out there? They say you'll get tattooed and purple hair. You'll miss the Friday night lights in the county fair, and that's a pity. They say traffic there is a perfect mess. They say it's beautiful, but it ain't always pretty. But nothing good comes out of California. Well, they'll convert your heart and we'll have to reform you. They dance with the devil in the city of angels. They don't know the words to the star-spangled girl. You can't say we didn't try to warn you that nothing good comes out of California.
Great. Yep. You too.
I love it. Great to meet you. This is exciting, Maddie.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You know what I was thinking, Maddie? If I was in a band, and sometimes I say I wish I was in a band, I would want a front woman to be just like you, Maddie. And and like I have to ask you this. Like it's like 2 p.m. now when we're shooting this. I was thinking, are you able, Maddie, to like sing as well as you do any time of the day? You know what I mean? Like it's mid-afternoon as a vocalist. Do you have a time where you just sing better?
Oh, for sure. I think I sing best at night because then I've been like talking all day and my voice is warmed up. I am not any good in the morning. Like before noon, forget it. When I have to do those early shows,
Right.
It's rough. It's rough.
Like those early television shows. I can't imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Maddie, and I was shocked to learn. I have to tell you, I was shocked to learn that this new song that you put out, which is great, and we're gonna talk about it. The one that got away. This is your first song in 3 years. Like, are you like, this is crazy, right?
Yes, I know. I can't believe it's been that long, but I mean, I for a while I kicked myself and was just like, man, I need to put out new music. I need to put out new music. And finally I came to the realization, you know what? I need to just put out music when I'm ready and when it's ready. I need to quit rushing this and thinking that there's such a timeline on everything, So yes, it took a while to get it together, but I finally feel like I'm in a good place musically, and I'm confident with my projects that I'm creating.
Yeah. Are you still in a contract with that, Maddie, by any way?
I'm not. Nope. I'm totally contract free. Yep.
Love that. Because, it almost feels like it should be illegal. Because listen, you are a young woman. I mean, as many of the contestants are, and we'll sort through how you came to your success. But really, like, you would have signed any contract at that point. Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, you're absolutely right. And I think that, I mean, that's nothing against, there's nothing against American Idol or anything like that, because I was on The Voice too. And they do the same thing. When you get to top 50, they say, here's a contract. If you want to continue the competition, sign it. And what 20-year-old at that time is going to get a lawyer to look at it and make sure they're on the right track? Like, you're doing anything to get your big break. And so, I would have signed anything. And, it wasn't a bad deal. It's not like it was like some crazy, it wasn't some crazy contract. Obviously there were certain like bullet points on there that made things maybe a little difficult here and there, but overall, I mean, I would rather have signed, I'd choose signing the contract over not signing it and not being able to be on the show.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, Maddie. And I'm still shocked also, like, how American Idol, how that show came together, because, I mean, you take a look at, like, The Voice, which you were in. And as popular as that show is, Maddie, I mean, it's never produced a star like you, or like Carrie Underwood or Kelly Clarkson. what is it about that show? And I think, you've been on both. Why is it so hard to get another Maddie Poppe, on one of these shows? Like, what do you think?
That's so nice of you to say, because I do not feel that way, and I've got a long way to go, but that's nice of you to say. But if we're talking like Kelly, Carrie, Daughtry, Jennifer Hudson, I mean, you can name so many from that show. And I've always said this. I've always said that, when you get on American Idol, everything is your choice, which I think is so cool. And down to, I mean, if I would have wanted to go on the live shows in sweatpants and no makeup, they would have let me do that. Like, you choose your song. I mean, every decision is yours, down to what you say on camera. Nobody's ever feeding you lines. Nobody's ever like telling you got to sing this song. It's always, the final decision is always yours. And obviously there's help along the way, and there's obviously people who are maybe trying to persuade you one way or the other, just because, they know what makes the best TV, but the
Right.
decision is yours. If you want to go out there and sing the alphabet, you can. And I think, just from my experience, I was on The Voice in 2016. And so it was a while ago, but at that time, I got to see the process all the way to the blind audition. So I know that they picked my outfit. They chose which song I was going to sing. It definitely was much more polished, I guess. It was much more like, okay, the first time that people see you on TV, you need to be glitz and glam, and you're not really yourself. I wasn't myself, and I wasn't really saying what was true to me. I didn't get to play my guitar, so I think when the difference is, when you get off of American Idol, you can continue, what you started on Idol, because every choice was authentically you. And when you get off The Voice, I don't know that I know they've had a lot of people who are successful on that show also, but I can imagine that it might be harder to keep up, when you've got a team of people every day telling you, this is what you're going to say, this is what you're going to sing, this is what you're going to wear, then you get off the show. How do you continue that? And then how do you kind of have to start over almost? I don't know.
Yeah, that fascinating insight there. Thank you so much for sharing that, Maddie. Absolutely, we could talk just a whole episode about that. But I love your story. I mean, you were born in Iowa, in Clarksville, and your father had a band, right? Like the Pioneer Days Festival, right?
Yes.
I love that. And you played with that band for a minute, right?
Yes, I I got up every once in a while. I wasn't in the band, but they let me sing.
Of course they did. Why wouldn't they? So, okay, so I'm just trying to understand here. So you grew up in Iowa. You have two sisters, Hannah and Emma. And are they artists as well, Maddie?
They are not. Hannah is a nurse, and Emma is in school, and she's going to be a home ec teacher.
Oh, I love it. So
Yeah.
you're like the superstar sis. I love it. Okay, and and I love about this about you. We'll get to the new song in just a second, I promise. But I love that you've made like no controversies, Maddie. I have to tell you, like, everybody who came up in your generation, there's at least something stupid they said. I mean, there's something that they did on some tweet, on some video, and quite frankly, it's pretty remarkable that, like, you're being your authentic self. You've just like stayed in the public eye and never screwed up, really. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you do it? Like, it's do you ever think about this kind of stuff?
That's very nice of you to say. But I guarantee you, if people went digging hard enough, I'm sure they
Really?
could find something to get on me. Which I will say, I am not for cancel culture at all. I actually am friends with a few pretty major public figures who have gotten quote unquote canceled before. And I see what that does to a person. And I can't imagine being on that platform and someone and just people coming to tear your life apart. And I understand that people make mistakes, but that's the thing, is people make mistakes. And I think
Right.
it's so important to forgive people for that. And, I just really think that we need to be more gracious as a society, because I think that it's so easy to cancel somebody, and people just find such like people find, I guess, I don't know, they get kind of excited about like tearing somebody down from the top. And I don't understand that. But so I will say I don't agree with cancel culture. And to be honest, I think half of it is feeding into it. When these people come for you and they cancel you, quote unquote, cancel you and say, Maddie Poppe's done, her career's over, blah, blah, blah. Well, then I think that when you bow down to that, when you say, and when it's something so petty, I mean, you can come back and say like, I'm so sorry, I apologize for this. But when they come back and they say, you're right, I'm leaving social media, I'll never be the same again, and blah, blah, blah. When you feed into it, then people just get at you even more. I think that you can only be, I mean, to a point, I feel like you can only be canceled when you let yourself be canceled. I feel like that's a very bold statement to say, but no, I guess there definitely have been times when people have come for me in a tweet or something like that and tried to say that I'm this horrible person because I liked a tweet. And it's like, I just didn't acknowledge it. I did not acknowledge it. I didn't put a statement out. I didn't say anything because truly I was just like, you know what? This is a mistake in some people's eyes. Maybe I shouldn't have liked this tweet, but I'm not going to allow you to cancel me for it. I'm not going to allow you to, ruin my career because of a mistake that I made. And so I didn't acknowledge it, and it literally went away in 2 weeks. And at the time it seemed like a huge deal, but it wasn't. It's just these people trying to come for you. And when they get under your skin, if you let them under your skin, they really will get under there. And, but I also think it's really important. I guess obviously there's been a few little controversies that I've gotten caught up in, but I always try to remember my audience. And I know that I was on ABC, which is, ABC Family, American Idol. It's very, Disney owns that. I was signed with Hollywood Records, and it's a very family friendly. And I think it's very important to always remember that. And even at my shows, when I see like little girls in the crowd who are dressed up like me in overalls and whatever, and singing my songs, and I see that kind of thing. And, if parents come up to you, and I think the biggest compliment that I ever could receive is when a parent comes up to me and says, you're such a great role model for my daughter. And that's just like, I don't know that someone can give me a better compliment, because that's something that I've tried to really, just like hold close to me, is that it's important to remember everything I release. I think, okay, my grandparents are going to see this, and a 7-year-old girl is going to see this. Are they all going to approve? If not, then I probably shouldn't post it. If so, then let's go for it. And I think that that's something that I've always taken with me, and that's something I take a lot of pride in.
I mean, you said so many good, interesting things there, but like, yeah, a lot of like great shit there. But one of the things that you said that really strikes a nerve, and I think you're right, is that a lot of this cancel culture, Maddie, is people tearing others down because it's easier to tear others down than to grow yourself, than to put in the work so that you can grow.
Yes.
Because people don't see, and like, this is the thing, when you came into the scene in The Voice and then American Idol, people don't see in Iowa, like your dedication when you were a little girl, 10, 11, 12 years old. People don't see the hours, like the focus that you had, right? It's much easier to just cancel her than like to go through all that. And that's
and it's much more interesting. People love the drama. They love the drama.
Oh my God, I love it. And speaking of drama, your new song though, I love it. It's the one that got away. But it's really juicy, and I love that, it's something you would think more people would talk about, but they don't. And it's friendships and heartbreak. And I do have to ask you about this, Maddie, because I've seen a lot of friends. I mean, heartbreak romantic is classic. It is what it is. But why is it so hard when like a good friend like screws you over? Why is that so rough, Maddie?
I think that, I mean, this song is about so many things. I wrote it at first about my friend who got her heart broken. And then as I, sat with it for a while, I realized it hits so many different levels. It hits relationships, it hits friendships, it hits your career, I mean, so I think of it in a lot of different ways. And just, I think it's important when you get you know, you get done wrong, or you get,
Yeah.
you know, you get kind of pushed aside. I think that that is a really, really strong motivator for you to keep pushing through and show them that you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, it's a super powerful song. It's going to be great live, Maddie. And you're being so awesome with your time, but I'm going to let you go with one Caleb Lee question. And that is really, I mean, you've probably answered this before, but I find it fascinating. And it's when you guys exposed your love to the world in the finale, right, of the season, because I can't just walk me through like your mindset, Maddie, because I'm not kidding. I mean, you are going through the fact that you may win, the fact that there's, you know, I don't know how many people, 20 million people watching live, you know, the fact that there's fireworks and people and a standing over, you're going through all this shit. Like, are you okay? Are you sweating? Are my eyelashes in the floor? And on top of that shit, you are gonna like basically pronounce your love to each other on TV. Like, can you just like walk me through that? Because that's crazy.
Yes, it was crazy. And to be honest, you asked how I do that. I don't know, because I watch the show right now and I've watched it every season since, and I wonder, how are they doing that? I'm literally watching them live and being like, how are they not messing up the words? And I'm like, how did I win the show? How did I do this? And when you're in it, you are so deep in it that you don't even see, like, it's like you have almost like rose-colored glasses on, or you're like, your blinders are up where you don't see anything else except American Idol, and you're on it, and you don't realize 20 million people are watching. You're just, right. You know, I was just having so much fun. But yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff, when you think about it, yeah, it's nerve-wracking. And I know my family like had so much anxiety with that whole run on American Idol. But you know, when you're in it, I think this is just how people do it, is you're just in it and you don't really think too deep about it. You don't think like, yeah, okay, this is going to impact my whole career, or like you're putting so much weight on it. I just was having fun and trying my best.
I love it. I love it, Maddie. Well, you know, I think I speak for everybody, music fans allowed in Nashville and beyond that. We're so glad to have you back. I think there was like a Maddie Poppe hole in the music world, and we're just now realizing that we needed you. So we're so happy you're back.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This was a pleasure.
Absolutely, Maddie. You take care, and we'll catch with you soon.
You too. See you later.